right? Yo, come in, my G.
Mm.
The last book is the Kabbalion. You already know the Kabbalion, filled with
Mm.
the Hermetic principles, the universal laws. That's where I learned that. For example, a lot of people learn about the law of attraction, but a lot of people don't know about who in here.
On.
A lot of people, we're actually
Hey.
talking about the law of attraction, right? Where a lot of people know about the secret, and the secret talks about the law of attraction, but the Hermetic principles goes further and it teaches about the law of vibration, right?
Yes.
And why that's important is because the law of attraction is the first level that you need to know about it, but it teaches you that when you attract something, you're taking from the external to the internal. Like I need to get something from out there and attract it to myself. That's what the law of
Yeah,
attraction.
it's attraction.
But the law of vibration teaches you that you're actually vibrating on the frequency, and that manifestation is going to come through you out into your reality. So the vibration is an internal to external base, and attraction is external to internal base.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why
Mm-hmm.
I always called it the law of reflection. But really quick, just
Ooh, love that.
just to kind of wind back in, we got a brother up in here.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Go as
Mhm.
you go. You know, major entrepreneur,
Yes,
cosmic as fuck.
yeah,
Artist. Woo.
My
you
brother
know,
Black Professor, welcome.
Peace, brother.
Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate
Yeah. So
well, can you kind of explain what goals you go means? Because I feel like what that touches on. We were just speaking about the power of this whole life is about how to break through challenges, how to break through
Mm.
setbacks. So I feel like goals you go actually speak that idea of breaking through setbacks and how to face your challenges.
for sure. So, go as you go means steps today to create tomorrow.
Mm.
Basically, I came up with that because, you know, in the beginning of my journey of just becoming who I am, I had a hard time expressing myself and putting out my creations that I would create like by myself with nobody watching, like that vulnerability of releasing what nobody gets to see. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I was having a hard time with that in the beginning, but as time went by, I started just to appreciate myself, and that be yourself used to be my motto before Go As You Go, and
Mm.
be yourself is literally the same thing as Go As You Go, but it's just the modified lifestyle. Like now Go As You Go is my lifestyle,
Mm.
but it's really be yourself, come as you are, you know.
Come.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're already kind of inspiring people with that in the live, brother, because Sun Links says I was there for a while. You know what
Mm.
So, so,
I was there myself, especially as I love the fact that you mentioned vulnerability. You know what I mean? Especially as an artist,
That's
because
what's up.
to be able to tell the truth, you know what I mean? To really tell the God's honest truth, and to be able to stand bare and naked with what you have to come to say is not always easy. It's not always easy.
Right.
In fact, it can be because of the programming. It may be the hardest thing in the world. Like this is when Bruce Lee, he said, I can. He said, please. He said, I can do a kick here, a punch there. The crowd go crazy. Yeah. He said that's easy. He said, but to actually go and perform and be honest, to be truly honest, he said that's hard.
for sure,
Yep.
for sure. Like you could take all the bullets in the world, but once you overcome that, once you say I'm wrong, bro, like I made mistakes, I need to fix myself. Like I feel like that's more powerful than taking a bullet. You feel me? Like
Mm.
once you start to change yourself, because you know you need to be better for yourself, like and not other people. That shit powerful. That shit
Right.
real powerful.
It really is.
You.
Even the nature of a bullet, it's still that external to internal. So if somebody's shooting you, it's still a bullet
Mm.
coming from external and hitting you. You're like, it's that pain. But once you say, you admit to yourself, I made a mistake, it's almost like multiple bullets within your own mind coming external, internally, berating you, and you have to live with that and realize, kind of callous your mind and realize that, I'm a human. Mistakes and failures are what actually galvanize my success. I know for you as an artist, a lot of your success in painting came from the quote unquote what you might perceive in a moment as fuck ups. I mean,
For sure. For sure. For sure. Hey.
Yep.
A lot of the things that I put out, I still be iffy about it. But once I see how it impact other people, that's what keep me going. Like, to see that, even when I doubt myself, other people still be like, yo, you got it, son. Like, keep going. Like, this is what we need. And it's just like we question ourselves so much when it comes to what we want to do. You feel me? We don't ever think that we can do what we want to do. We think we gotta go by these rules, or like however people told us what success look like. That's what we think works, but we don't ever really go inside. And that's what it's about. You gotta go inside and see what you want and make that shit work.
Right, because success looks different for everyone.
For sure. For sure.
This has been a conversation about the same thing for like hours, and I love it because it's all about. We're always talking about it's only one message, like I keep saying, but we just looking at it from so many different angles and so many different bits and intricacies, because all of them matter to the development of who you are, why you're here, and how you exist to serve. So when we're looking at whether it's mindset, or whether it's just kind of spiritual healing, or whether it's overcoming challenges, all of these things are important because responsible for you except for you. At the end of the day, your state, nobody's gonna come and free you out of your state. Like, you have to be your own kind of like Jesus. You know what I mean? You got to be your own savior sometimes. You know what I mean? Because you sitting here waiting for a savior, it'll never come, because you put yourself in the frequency or in the vibration of constantly waiting. So this is why it goes back to the same thing. It's like faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? So having faith that, and I can't help but reiterate this, is that every time, and I got this from my brothers at Time is Money TV. Shout out, everybody follow Time is Money TV. They're going crazy. But said, my brother Muhammad, he said, he was like, every time I'm asking myself whether I see myself doing something, like whether I'm going to do something, he said, I always check in with my higher self. I ask, do I see my higher self practicing this? Like, do I see my higher self smoking? Do I see my higher self this? Do I see myself doing that? And once we're able to tap into what our higher self would be doing and begin to embody it now, remember the question is, what type of person must I be? Not what I got to do to get the type of person must I be. Then we begin to embody that, is really, we start to see our change. So
right.
I 100,000%.
Black, I wanna ask you, bro. What is your perspective on a lower self? Like, I know that your perspective on your shadow has evolved over the years. So in that same vein, as he was saying, he goes and he gives counsel to his higher self. As his higher self, would you be engaging in this activity? For you, do you ever say, what is the conversation like with your lower self? Because it's like, for me, I know that I do give credits to my higher self, but I actually give quote unquote attention to my lower self as well. And I let him indulge in some activities because I feel like that's what's going to create the balance. And that's actually the authentic self, is that self, which is the negative. For example, like always being friendly, that's like a kindness. That's like a higher self quality, being friendly with people. But always being friendly is not exactly authentic. You need to have a little bit of like fuck out of here, like within you. So just
that don't make it lower though. That don't make it
Right.
lower though. It doesn't make it lower. See, because even that lower self, not to cut you off, just to like slightly interject, that lower self, you could have two things. That lower self could either be the thing that brings you to your detriment, or that lower self can actually be alchemized. Remember, when we speak about the nous, we could talk about how we can train our lower selves to move in what direction it wants to. It's just energy. You know what I mean? But if we can change its trajectory through proper programming.
Exactly. Brothers, I do gotta hop off, but it's been a pleasure. It's been an amazing
Peace,
experience. Yo,
family.
enjoying the conversation, the energy, the build. It's been real. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Thank you
Yo,
to Brother Crumb
yeah, we went
who
longer. We went longer than
dropped
what we
gems.
usually do.
Right.
But it's been amazing.
You
We
know,
appreciate this.
Bliss
For
even
sure.
say, yo, it's being real in the teal. You know what I'm saying?
For real in the chill. Man,
It's been real in
I
the
can
tail. I
always
love
count
that.
on you, bro. I can always count on you, bro. Thank you, bro. Yo, but
I
good night.
I
love
Peace
mean,
and
out,
bliss.
bro. City salute. Love y'all.
Peace, peace. Love you too, bro.
So absolutely. Maybe we could finish, just kind of finish the point. You know what I mean? Finish like the last bit of conversation, and then
mhm.
we can get back to our respective duties aside from
For sure, for sure.
people.
I want to make a comment on that shadow work thing he was telling me that he
Please.
was asking me about. So how I feel about, first of all, I believe in Mayat, the Mayat scale. You put the feather and the heart on the scale. Like, I want to show feather and the heart. You feel me? You put it on the scale. It balances out. Like, if your heart is really a test to see if your heart is lighter than a feather. Meaning, does the good outweigh the bad in your life? You know what I mean? So, or actually, is that, and then having a balance within the two, because you can't just be good all the time. You can't be bad all the time. Like, you have to have a balance, because the world around you is reacting to what you're putting out. You feel me? So you have to have a balance in both. And I feel like the shadow is there to show you about all the shit you don't like, what you don't want to do, all the shit that's about to fuck you up in your life, all the shit that's about to make you go off your path. It's like that. It's like that uneasy feeling you get, or like that voice that tell you, nah, bro, that ain't, don't go there, or like, or that gut feeling that be like you pull up somewhere, your stomach start feeling uneasy. Like, it's them type of things. That's your shadow telling you, nah, bro. Like, listen to me real fast. Even if it's real direct and raw, sometimes it'll come out like some evil shit. But sometimes you gotta hear that darkness to really understand what the light is. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
dark birth light birth darkness. You feel me? So we gotta be in both. You can't exclude one or the other, because you're gonna go crazy if you try to do that.
You
You're gonna go crazy trying to be perfect, man.
interesting
You just,
because it's almost as if the shadow said it was warning you that, yo, this is somewhere I can live. In the sense that it's like, yo, when you pulled up to that spot, the shadow said, hey, yo, I'm about to turn up in here. I can feel other shadows here. Like, I can feel my shadow G's here. You feel me? And like, when you naturally about to turn up with your friends, you start getting hyped. You can feel, easily feel your shadow self getting hyped from the energy of that environment. And you like, you know what? I maybe need to, because my shadow know he about to have some fun. So like, maybe I
right.
need.
But you know what's interesting, and I've realized that different people your shadow Jesus hilarious. But anyway, I've realized that with the shadow self, it doesn't have to be extremely bad depending on how you train it. My thing is to make sure that I'm training myself, and that's all aspects of myself. So within my own paradigm, when it comes to the shadow, I'm even trying to get the shadow to want to, you know what I mean, to play its role properly, but play its role in a way that's progressive, not in a way that's going to decrease consciousness. It must have its place as well. So when I say that, I mean, like, some people's shadow is like going out killing people. That would be an extreme. Another person's shadow might be like stealing a piece of candy, depending on how they're trained. And so the scale varies depending on person to person.
So I
Don't
want to ask you personally, how do you satisfy your shadow? I think it's very interesting because a lot of people are watching this and they have varying degrees of how they satisfy their shadow. And I think it would be interesting for them because they see you as a spiritualist. They see you as somebody who's traversing the multiverse and who is building this university. For you, how do you satisfy your shadow on a daily? And not to get too personal, but you know, what is something that you believe that you, because you know, you gave two examples: killing somebody, stealing candy, two extremes. But
All right. So there's multiple ways you can exist in the universe. You can be the balance in the yin and the yang, or you can be just sometimes yin, or you can be sometimes yang, depending on where you are. You know what I mean? So for me, on the spiritual path that I'm on, our job is to starve. We're actually in a war with our lower self. It's not like, okay, I want to like experience some of this and some of that. Those are some paths, and there's respect to those paths as well. But on my specific path, I got beef with the devil, the internal devil, all of that. And I know it's all you, it's all of that stuff, but this is actually what keeps us on our game and keeps us becoming better. Like it's like Keys said, 19 Keys, he was like, yo, if you don't got your enemies, you better buy you some. So you know what I mean? So because it'll keep you on your toes. So for me, I don't actively look to satisfy my shadow self. Though people may, you know what I mean, and that's fine. On this specific path, anytime we see him is anytime, like all the time. And but what it does though, not only because you can't really kill it, what you do. You can starve it and you can redirect it. We are about giving the all to one thing. Like and this the proclivity is toward the most high. It's Islam, it's Allah. So like it's about giving it all, like lower, higher, all in one direction. So you know what I mean? Technically I strive to not let my lower self be satisfied, but to really alchemize it so that even the lower self wants to do the deeds and the you know, that are more in alignment with the higher inclinations, not even the higher self, but
it's like you took the lower self into the most low.
Huh?
In a sense that because you have the most, but you're gonna have that lower self anyway. So I'm gonna say the most low in a sense that I'm gonna bring that lower self to the higher frequency of that low, you know, of that low wavelength. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The highest
my
extent
lower
that,
self is rising. My
most,
lower self is rising for pure ascension. It's all we're all ascending, all of us.
I say, yo, everybody, thank you so much for tapping in. You know, this live was genuinely about, you know, how to alchemize your setups, you know, your setbacks into setups, how to overcome your challenges, how to live in the moment, how to live with gratitude, you know, yourself, being in tune with your intuition, healing your shadow self, going as you go. You know what I mean? You know, creating steps today to live a better tomorrow. You know, knowing that you are not the moment, you are the moment, meaning that you are the moment I am, you know. And so everybody, thank you so much for tapping in, for giving this reflection, for giving your consciousness, giving your awareness, and for also sharing this with 10 people who you feel like can get value from this live. Thank you so much. Yo, Black, thank you so much, Emerald. Yo, Crew and Bliss, thank you so much for inviting me to this space. Yo,
We appreciate you.
feeling the teal.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Really detail. Yo, until next time, y'all have a good night. I appreciate all of y'all. And you know, peace and blessings, and in our language, assalamu alaikum.